Hello, it's Crypto CJ. It's the trade of the day, Friday morning, Thursday afternoon, Zoom call, depending where you are in the world. And we've had a great half a week since the Fed pushed forward the rate reduction cut, 50 basis points, which was mostly as expected, better than the 25 that would not have done anything, but not quite the 75 some had hoped for. Regardless, Bitcoin has a nice bump to nearly 64K, dip back down below 63. Let's go to the chart and check it out. Okay, should be seeing my Bitcoin day chart.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. And as you can see, we have broken above all the moving averages that I have listed here. Of course, they're kind of clumped up here, 20, 50, and 200, and we are above those. So just below 64K, 63.8, and then dip back down to where we are now, about 62.9. So looking pretty good. Next resistance looks to be right at 64. Might be explained why it was swatted down. Then resistance after that around 68. And then getting close to the all-time highs here between 71 and 73. So is Rectember over? Are we going to get a big pump at the end of the month? Or do we have another retrace heading our way down back to about, say, 55 to 50? I still have a stink bid sitting around 51. We'll see if that gets filled. And then October, the elections, Q4, Bitcoin paradise. Who knows? Maybe I'm getting too optimistic, but looking forward to October and a nice run up to break the all-time high. And I might sell a little Bitcoin at 85, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's see what else we got. That was Bitcoin, Ethereum.
I got a comment there that I think it's going to go down again and just wreck a few more people before it goes. We're still in wreck chamber,
Yeah, the
so
old long squeeze, whether it's the market makers or just basic price
because
action.
because everyone's going to think, oh, we're away now, and they're all going to dive in, and it's going to come back one last. Well, who knows? It might not be the last time, but it's going to fake them out for sure.
Yeah, I could see another breakdown to the 618 here, around 53, 54K. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Doesn't mean I would like it, but a long squeeze like that, take out a few more paper hands and stop losses and things like that before we head back up. I think I
Just
agree
to
with.
scare us.
Yeah, indeed. Wouldn't surprise me at all. All right, Ethereum hasn't done as well. 2500's looking like resistance still. So we got to break through that with some force before we can head back towards 3000. Next resistance is here around between 27 and 28. And then back up here into the zone I drew earlier this year, 3150, I believe. Yeah, so are we on the way or is this just a big a fake out? That's the question. All right, any other comments or questions before we get on Altcoin Alert looking for some day trades and swing trades?
I might have interrupted you just as you were going to do Ethereum.
Yeah, I bounced over there briefly and just mentioned the 2500. So other than that, I don't have much to say. Then it hasn't done as well as really anything. It's the only one of the few that's negative right now. Bitcoin's a little negative from yesterday, but my time reset's a little different than everyone else's. So all right, yeah, let's head over to Altcoin Alert. Look for some trades. Okay, so I'm on the altcoin radar setting. Easy mode is off. I'm going to reload, get the most current information. And I haven't been using the AA sorts as much this week, more using social activity. long-term and short-term sentiment. Okay. Looks like we have some changes, at least in some of the actual scores, but the same coins pretty much. Yeah, IQ, MOG, Racked, NXM, these have been up here for a while. And then some of the larger coins that you can trade with some decent volume, Jasmy, YFI. Hadn't seen that one up here in a while. SXP is making an appearance, but then we're getting pretty far below the 80 range that I like to be in. So I'm going to skip my usual AA score sort and go to social activity. And I'm going to look for, I'm matching with trading activity, look for fire and fire, thumbs up, or a mixture of those two. And then sometimes I sort the opposite if I'm looking for a short, but we're looking for longs now. Market's trending up. And then I know a lot of you guys are still trading on spot. So I'm going to scroll down here and see what we can look at. The graph, GRT, has fire on social activity, thumbs up on trading. So that could be worth a look. Zilliqua as well. Stacks I like a lot. STX. Phantom, I traded yesterday and the day before with some success. So we haven't looked at stacks in a while. At least I don't think so. Let's check that one out. Okay, I'm on my 15-minute day trading layout. I'll go over that in some detail in a moment. Choose STX from my list on TradingView. And all right, 15-minute chart. I'm using the supply and demand visible range by Lux Algo for support and resistance. Resistance is the red zone, support is the green. Been using the RTI now for almost a year. Relative trend index, and this is where I like to set my alerts. And my favorite trades are these here that dip down below the 20 and then come back up. And we'll look at a couple samples. Okay, we've got this one here. It broke down below the 20 and then broke back up. So you can see it made a really nice gain. 15% is an amazing day trade. Probably would not have stayed in that long. I would have been out around here pretty quickly. I'm looking for 1 to 1.5% move on my day trades, and I'm trading on leverage. I've been doing this for nearly 5 years. I'm using 10x leverage on a foreign exchange. If you're less experienced, you're going to want to trade on spot. If you're in the US, Coinbase has a lot of the coins that I talk about, and I'm near certain it's got this one. So I'll type it in real quick to make sure. And yeah, there it is. Stacks listed on Coinbase. But I'll go ahead and stick with my Binance chart for now. And if you're looking for a short for the upcoming weekend, you've got that going on at the moment on stacks. Looks like it just broke below the 80, which is the other place I trade when I'm looking for something to short. Yeah, it just broke down below the 80. So I'm going to take that trade. Not financial advice, but if I see something I like during the Zoom call, I will take the trade. So I'm going to go over to my other screen and use my third-party software to take this trade. And I am in on stacks on a short. So, and then if you want to do more trend-based trading, I will use the cumulative delta for confirmation on that. So an example of that would be this break above the 50 that we had here. As you can see, it took that big move up after a slight dip. Then it broke above the 50 again here, and then just kept on going. Probably would have waited for a better confirmation in this example, which happens right about here on the cumulative delta with some green candles trending up. And that would have been a nice entry on a trend-based trade on the RTI. But I haven't been using these as much as the bull market has been in a retrace. But we'll see if the interest rate news pushes us continuously forward and up, as we discussed earlier. So that's my layout for day trading. What do I do with this information? I'm going to right click on the RTI and set an alert. Crossing up on the 20 for those of you trading spot. Once per bar close, we'll leave it on all day. Alert name. This was social activity sort. And once you type in an alert name a few times, TradingView will remember it. And notify an app on my phone, show test notifications, a little pop-up here on my laptop, play sound also on my laptop. And there's a few to choose from. Maybe I'll go with 3 notes reverb on this and click create. And I'd be good to go for a spot alert or just a long alert. But I'm going to trade both directions. So my alert's going to be a little different. I'm going to go with entering a channel, 80 on top, like you just saw in the trade I took, 20 on the bottom, once per bar close, everything else is the same. And so I'm going to create that alert on STX, and that should show up over here on my alerts. So update my log, and there we go. Okay, any questions on STX as a day trade or how I set up that alert on the 15-minute chart? If you're interested in this chart, email me at cryptocj13@gmail.com. Most of you guys are on my email list, and I can copy this link and send it to you. And that way you don't have to recreate it from scratch. All right, well, let's look at this as a potential day trade. Maybe you don't want to make a bunch of trades. You just want to trade, a few times a week. I like this layout for that purpose. And so I'm on the 1 hour chart now. I'm using the same indicators for support and resistance. And then I'm using the super trend indicator to help me decide where to get in. And then the Trendilo LSMA for confirmation. It's a moving average indicator. So at the moment, we're coming out of the red zone on a potential short. LSMA just turned red, but we don't have a trigger yet from the super trend. So if you want to short this, right click on that, add alert on super trend. You can use direction change to trade both directions, or buy or sell. You could also select the buy and wait for the next time this dips and then trends back up. So, but I don't like this setup at all because we're already in the red zone on a buy. I mean, I like it as a short, but not as a long. I can go to a longer time frame to get a better idea of longer retrace potential. We do have retrace potential here to 183. So if you took this now, you could maybe get 8 or 9%, but you might be in the trade for, close to a month to get that. I think we'll find better setups than that as we make our way forward. So I'm going to pass on this as a swing trade setup at the moment. Any questions on stacks as a potential swing trade? Okay, we'll do some more sorts on Altcoin Alert. So that was a social activity. Let's do a short-term sentiment. We're going to match that up with the Elder Impulse hourly. And yeah, we've got about 20 of these. I'm not seeing many in the way it matches. Hathor, never heard of that. That's the only one. So let's check it out. Look at something new. Hathor, HTR. Where do we find that one? Okay, it's on a couple smaller exchanges. Mexi and Gate.io, KuCoin, Crypto.com. Hmm. Let's go to the RTI day trade setup. We'll just look at this as a spot trade. And we're getting some weirdness here on the supply and demand visible range. So I usually just turn it off in that situation. I can visually see that resistance is up here around 4.2 cents. So it made a really nice move when it broke above the 20 here and a second break here. And yeah, 15%. Love that as a day trade. So right click on the RTI and just crossing up on the 20. Wait for the next time that happens, and you will be good to go on Hathor if you can find it. Okay. And it's a swing. Yeah, it's a swing. We're at the top of the range on the 1 hour, except for this errant candle, which went up to almost 4.8 cents. If that were to happen again, that would be a 14% move. So that's got potential. Again, I probably want something with a little better volume than this, so I think I'm going to pass on this one. Any questions on Hathor? Okay, let's head over to a long-term sentiment sort. I'm going to match that up with the Elder Impulse Daily. So sentiment, what people are talking about, Elder Impulse, technical indicator, and YGG is bullish and bullish. AVAX is bullish and bullish. SWE, I've swing traded this one a couple times this year. Chromia, say synthetic. So there's some pretty good candidates here for swing trades and maybe longer day trades. So let's look at AVAX. That's a goodie. Okay, AVAX on the RTI chart. And we're seeing this set up on most of the coins that we're looking at. Got the big break above like a day and a half ago, and a lot of them went up double digits. Yeah, 13, 14% to the red zone. Good stuff there. So I think I'm going to do this setup. I'm going to set this alert. Right click on the RTI. If you want to go for a spot trade, choose the crossing up. I'm going to trade this both directions and go with my 80-20 on entering a channel. Once per bar close. And this was long-term sentiment. Notifications. Yeah, I'll leave that the same. Click create. That should show up here in my alert list. All right, so we're good to go on that as a day trade. Any questions on AVAX? Let's look at the swing option. I think we're going to be at the red zone, yeah. So we are, yeah, in the red zone. Let's look at the 4-hour chart. Pretty close to where we were back in late August. So, but we on the day chart, we got a lot of room to move back. $32 where we were in late July. So if you took that trade now, 21% would be a great swing trade, but it could take you a couple months to do it. A little longer than I want to be in something. So I'd probably pass on this as a swing trade at the moment. What you could do is just catch the next buy on this. So it shoots up, trends back down, and maybe you get in around here. Let's say it goes to the mid zone on a retrace, and then you come back up here, around 6, 7%. Not bad, but not ideal in my mind. I don't think we've done a super trend alert yet. Direction change or buy. I usually go with only once. Long-term sentiment, notifications. I usually change the sound to handbell for swing trades, and then everything else is the same. Okay, anything else or any questions on AVAX? Okay, let's flip that sort and match up bearish and bearish. So you can do this if you're specifically looking for a long. I will do this just to see what's moving and still apply the same RTI logic and super trend logic that I do, whether I've done this sort or the other long sort. But there's quite a few bearish pairs coming up. Polygon is something I trade with some frequency. Well, not as much as I thought. And some other coins don't really know. Well, Zen is something I trade sometimes. Obviously, oh, that's a kind of a fake Bitcoin. Wazer X, haven't seen that one in a while. I think that's an Indian exchange. Let's look at Matic. Or Pole, it's called now, I suppose. And look at this as a day trade on the RTI. Okay, it's already dipped below the 80. So could be something to sort, or could be heading down. This is one where you might want to use your 50 as a trend-based trade. Something like that happened here, though it didn't quite make it to 50. And the same situation here. So that alert looks like this. Right click on the RTI, crossing up. So you could just use this one here, RTI crossover 50. That would probably go with this one. Crossing up on the 50. Once per bar close. Long-term sentiment sort. And the rest is the same. Might change the sound to chirpy or something different because it's not going down to the 20, only to the 50. Then when that happens, look at your cumulative delta to see if you've got confirmation, and then you're good to go. All right, as a swing, okay, on a 1-hour chart, got a little more room to move on this. The buy only went off about a cent ago. So, but we have red printing on the Trendilo. So If you took it now and ignored that, you'd have about 6.5% to the bottom of the red zone. If you go deeper into it, you go all the way up to about 12%. Probably look to be in right here around 8%, at 43 cents. But I'd want to see all the trend, all the conditions come into play. Or you could take this now and just hold some funds back in case it dips back down to, say, 37 cents or so and be ready for an additional purchase. Okay, any questions on Pole as a swing trade or day trade?
Not necessarily on poll, but can you tell me? I don't see any buy or sell labels on my stuff. Where are you getting those labels from?
On the super trend, that I've got that indicator on here,
Yeah, I've
and
got it up too, but I'm still not seeing them. Is there a specific super trend you're using?
probably there's multiple super trends. So go ahead and email me, and I'll send you this layout, and it'll have it just as you see it here. I'm not sure why you wouldn't. A super trend without the buy and sell isn't real useful. So, but there are several. I've got a few of them starred here. And if you look here, anything is super trend, it's got a whole bunch of them here. So I guess you may have one that doesn't have those labels, or you need to do something with the indicator to make them more visible.
Yeah, might need to turn them on.
Um, Show buy sell labels might be something like that. And then I usually change the color. Sometimes they're up, they're not as visible as this. Mine are green and red. And I think if you choose the absolute, it hovers above on the short and below on the long. But you can choose where you want to put them based on the style function, and then the inputs. You just click on that, and you get to that through this little gear looking thing on the setting. That's your settings.
Yeah, I found it. You're using the one from looks like Kivanch Ozbilgic.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. Doesn't sound familiar. It looks familiar. I think I can picture how he spells it, but
Yeah, I found it. I got it now.
all
Thank
right,
you.
cool. All right. Any other questions on? Okay, we'll look at. Yeah, I've got time for one more, and I wanted to look at the 1 hour projected range. I don't use this one as much, and if I see positive on both the upper and the lower, that's usually worth looking at. And got that here with Ava, but it's a really small value. So yeah, I'm not digging this, but when you get like say upper at 10 and lower is 2 and the middle values around 4 or 5, those can be some pretty quick trades, but we don't have that at the moment. So anything else you guys want to do with Altcoin Alert, or any coins you want to look at? Well, I'll wrap it up here. Short and sweet, hard to beat. If you're watching on the recording, I'd rather see you live on the Mondays and Thursdays, but check out the opportunities in the pinned comment, help fund the channel, and you guys have a good rest of your week and the weekend. I will be traveling early next week. I'm not sure if I'll have my Monday Zoom call or not. It'll be Tuesday morning for me in Thailand. I'll be going to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia for stage 3 of my digital nomad tour of Southeast Asia. I think I'm traveling that morning, so I may not have the Zoom call. Stay tuned to the Slack and email, and I'll let you know one way or the other. You guys have a good one. See you next time.
Thanks, CJ.
Thank you.
See ya.